Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. With me today is Troy Brittingham.
Howdy. That's all.
That's it, just howdy?
Just howdy.
I'm Jeff Ackerman. Thanks for the intro, bud.
I figured I'd give this a Western drawl to this episode, you know? Just a one howdy. That's it. I'm not going to do any more.
Howdy, partner.
No.
Okay,
that's
but
too Western.
Hold on.
And
Why did
this
you say-
man blowing in from the far west reaches of this beautiful country
Can you do more of like a sexy Southern
is
belle?
Christopher Carroll. My heavens, Christopher Carroll does make my temperature rise. Oh, boy. If only
Foghorn
somebody
Leghorn.
could get me an
Foghorn
ice...
Leghorn.
If only somebody could get me an ice-cold mint julep, for I am of the fainting variety, and I may pass out on this chaise lounge displayed here in this here living room. I say I need a mint julep and some Coca-Cola with the peanuts in the bottom of it.
Apparently I'm joined by two gay cowboys.
The Cowboys thing was the surprise.
Brokeback Mountain. Mandalorian episode, what is that, 7, 8? I don't fucking remember. The one with Moff Gideon in it. Let's get into it.
TB&J!
This episode is called The Spies!
Oh, the spy!
I'm the spy!
I'm also the spy!
Oh, I get it, because Hux is in this.
Hux is in this.
Hux
What
is-
is his Daddy Hux?
It's Daddy Hux!
Daddy Hux is in
Never
this.
ever say the word daddy to me again.
His son is the spy, but he's daddy.
Daddy Hux.
Daddy
Oh,
Hux.
yeah.
His son is a spy.
God, I
order
regret
of
befriending the
business.
both of you in high school.
First order of business, people. Thumbs up, thumbs down, Troy.
I think I meant thumbs up. Now we're being like pirates.
Arr, Chris, what be your decision on this episode? Will it be a hook hand up or a hook hand down?
Arr, SpongeBob, me boy, I gave it a thumbs down.
It's because Mr. Krabs is a couple characters in Star Wars. actually.
SpongeBob, me boss. Thumbs down. Fuck this episode, man. I fucking hated it. I really did not like the direction Nando's taking. But
So, to counter that, I like the episode, but there's a key thing that really makes me hate it. Just, again, where it's going.
wait, I think we might have the same thing we hate.
I think that I don't think.
We'll see. We'll
could
see.
be
We'll
wrong.
see.
I could be wrong.
Let's back up the train just a wee bit. All right, Troy. What'd you like about this episode? We do try to get out of the way the things we liked. I do like to prop something up before I shit all over it and tear it down.
My main plus is that now we have a place to go. We have things going on.
The plot happened.
Yeah,
There's a MacGuffin, and
I
it's a
think
planet.
Yep, I think that
It's pronounced Moff Gideon. If you say it real fast, it might be MacGuffin.
Jeff,
as much,
I didn't know
as
you could
much
be
as-
clever.
Thanks, man. I try.
As much as I said before that I did not want the villain of the season to be Moff Gideon, I am reminded that I do in fact like Moff Gideon. I think that he's cool.
Do you like Moff Gideon or do you just like Giancarlo Esposito?
Yes. I like that he has an Iron Man suit in this episode.
It's Beskar Alloy Dark Trooper suit. Come
yeah,
on.
but you know.
And the best part about it is I'm in it. Oh my god, that line was just dripping with sex appeal. It was better than Lando Calrissian. I was like, yes! Now let's get you out of it, Daddy Dark Trooper.
That's a lot of daddy's
I
happening.
can't believe he reached through the scene and had sex with all of us.
Oh yeah, it was so weird how he just took me anally on my couch.
Consensually. It's a
right.
little pop-up
Oh,
ad on Disney Plus.
It's absolutely consensual.
Yeah, there's a little pop-up ad on Disney Plus of just like, would you like, a night with Giancarlo Esposito? And everybody, there's actually the only option is yes, because they knew that nobody was, so.
It's just yes. You go to click on the X and it just doesn't do anything.
Well, nobody went to click on the X, so it's fine.
Yeah, they didn't test it. They were like, oh, everyone's just gonna say yes. I mean, obviously.
It was like the
Dee's
Gravity
brother-in-law. I hope you really like this episode, bud. Anyway, continue, Troy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off so many times.
But I like that we actually have like a direction to head towards. I like that we're doing the Mando thing of this is the bad episode where everything goes wrong and the big lead up to the final
This
battle.
is the Empire Strikes Back.
Yep. it is turning into a thing where every single season is just like episode 7 introduces Moff Gideon back into the world. Episode 8 is how do we fucking get rid of this fucking guy again?
How do we clown on Moff Gideon?
Please, it's pronounced MacGuffin.
I like these like very Mad Max pirate Mandalorians that are on the planet.
Yeah, they were awesome. I
cool.
was really hesitant. I was like, do we trust these fuckers? Are they just gonna like kill the other Mandos at the first chance they get? But no, they seem to be great guys.
Yeah.
Once
You
again,
guys can hear that.
the
police
Mandalorian
siren
police
going
are coming
by.
after you.
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember. We
yeah.
are a Philadelphia podcast.
I got too many thumbs down this episode. Oh no, they're coming. They're pressing on the door. I gave it a thumbs up.
Hands on the
Jeff-
ground.
I gave it a thumbs up.
Jeff, have you been dealing death sticks again?
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
But I like the gunfight, and there is a fight scene at the very, very end that I thought was very cool.
Paz Vizsla.
Yep.
His last stand.
Yep.
Which I was
He's
expecting.
no longer daddy.
I was expecting that last stand to go a bit more like Halo Reach, where you're just shooting and shooting until you finally succumb. But no, they just brought in giant badass motherfuckers to knock him down, and I was like, oh, okay.
It's sort of like Halo Reach, but if you were really bad at fighting the elites on that map.
Yeah, I guess so. Chris, is there anything you liked about this episode, bud?
You know what? I liked almost everything about this episode, except Moff Gideon. Aside from him dripping with sex.
Yeah, obviously.
Season 1, they clown on Moff Gideon with IG-11. Season 2, they clown on Moff Gideon and beat him in single combat, take his lightsaber, take his ship, destroy all of his robots, and then he gets arrested. And they brought him back! Why?
They brought him back. I literally don't know why.
They
Other
beat
than to
him
try to-
twice, fully defeated him. Why is the rest of the Imperial Remnants even putting up with this shit? They should have been like, no, Moff Gideon, you lost twice, fuck off.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier when they hinted that he was back, before they just outright said that he was back a few episodes ago. He is a much cooler reveal if he shows up in season 5.
Yeah, they should have given it some breathing room and made one of these other bad guys, because clearly there's a whole council of these like high-ranking officers from the Empire that want to rebuild it, and they are covertly working together while seemingly not working together.
Well, the reason all of them exist is that they're saying two things in this scene when they're all in the little shadow council room beforehand.
Honestly, let's just call it what it is, the evil Jedi Council.
Yeah. But
It's literally what it was reminding me of.
But basically, they're doing two things here.
Is that you shaking the keys?
That's my fault. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
But
I was looking around, I'm like, who's jingling keys in my apartment?
I forgot that we were doing a podcast. But they do two things in this scene. Is they are basically like, by the way, the Ahsoka show is coming around the corner and Thrawn's in it.
Yup.
And the other
So
thing that
excited.
they're doing is they're going, hey, we're talking a lot about the First Order, and those stormtroopers outside looked a lot like First Order like in the middle ground of stormtroopers to stormtrooper First Order like designs.
They're looking less like Episode 6 and more like Episode 7.
Yes,
But they're not quite there.
yeah. And in that sort of transition period, they're also like, and also Hux is here, and it was basically a signal to just be like, no, nerds, we're not fucking retconning it, we're just doing the thing.
Yeah, I never thought they were gonna retcon the sequels. I
wish
never
they
once
would.
believed that.
Reddit still says that's gonna happen. So.
Reddit says that the technology exists if ever they wanted to, but like, they spent so much goddamn money. They announced the Star Wars Celebration. They've got 3 movies in the
I've
works.
seen a lot of YouTube videos saying it's right around the corner.
Yeah, okay.
And Kathleen Kennedy will be fired.
You
soon.
also actively seek out Joe Rogan videos, and you say it's ironic.
Yeah, I heard all this on Breitbart.
Oh, man. I exclusively get my news from InfoWars.
One for Wars isn't like anywhere anymore, is it? It's like gone.
Dude, I don't know.
They like wiped it off the map.
I'm sure Alex Jones is doing something
You
somewhere.
can hear it somewhere, I'm sure.
He exists on one of like the right-wing podcast platforms.
Oh, is he like the real life Moff Gideon? Is he going to show up again?
God, I hope not.
They just kick him off the internet again?
No, you see, you gotta get a ham radio, and you have to tune it to the exact right coordinates. and then you can get Alex Jones' podcast.
But so Chris, do you have any other positives?
They set up. There was a lot of tension when going to Mandalore, and like when they took the survivors back up to the fleet. I assumed that as soon as the armorer and her group breached the atmosphere and went back out into space, the fleet was just going to be destroyed. It would be gone because the Imperial remnants caught up to them. So I was in constant dread of that. And
this whole episode, that's a good take. I was thinking about that when I was watching it. The whole episode is really, because it's episode 7 and Moff Gideon was in the intro, that like something has to happen at some point. Something's gonna go horribly, horribly wrong. You just don't when is this gonna happen and where does it happen?
I kept expecting like the new Mando pirates to turn on the armorer and like kill her and steal the ship or something. But no, they're just absolutely nice people, and I'm a monster for thinking they're gonna betray her. But then I kind of was on the same page as you, Chris. As soon as she breached the atmosphere, I did expect to see like the black ships that Gideon had or something. And turns out, no, just absolutely nothing. And I was like, oh God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Ah!
Also, seeing the progression from the Imperial Super Commandos to these current troopers, I don't believe that they're the same.
Nope.
Really cool.
No, they are not. These troopers are decked out in jetpacks and Beskar armor.
Well, Chris is saying that in Rebels, there's a bunch of Mandalorians that sided with the Empire, and they look kind of similar to this.
Oh.
But not super similar to
this. It is a different design. They don't have, like, the Mandalorian-styled helmets.
Also, is it Gar Saxon or no, it's Tiber Saxon. Gets killed by a shot through the chest, so I don't think that he's actually in Beskar, is he?
Who was that
in Rebels?
Oh, okay.
I'm messing Chris. He gets shot right through the stomach and dies.
It's been a while, so I don't remember exactly how he died.
Yeah. Positives.
Positives.
Paz Vizsla, amazing. Rest in peace, bud.
Fantastic scene. He's the new Boba Fett. He doesn't say 100%. A lot. He looks cool, and he does cool things, and doesn't get clowned on by a blind guy.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the Paz Vizsla show will show up a few years later down the line, and
no, we watched him get stabbed 3 times.
We watched one guy get eaten, and then be in the stuff for apparently 30 years.
Don't do this. Don't Winter Soldier him. Don't make him come back.
No, they shouldn't do that, absolutely. Also, I kind of like the fact that, unless they do something at the very beginning of the next episode, Paz officially does die and never once takes off his helmet, like, ever.
Yeah, I mean, I expected, like, none of them to really take off their helmet, but I was like, oh, yeah, he's dead now.
I thought when they had Din captured,
I thought he was going to remove his helmet.
Yeah, he's like, take it off.
For a second, I was going to be like, rip off his helmet. Let me see his face. But now I'm also thinking, like, this would be a pretty convenient way for Pedro Pascal to bow out of the series if he wanted to.
Also true. And because this is truly, like, the series is called The Mandalorian, but for 7 episodes now, it's really felt like The Mandalorian has been Bo-Katan this season.
So, actually, I want to go back a quick moment. Because Paz Vizsla never took off his helmet, I just want to give some major props to his actor, Tate Fletcher.
Did he voice Paz in the show, or is this a different guy?
I mean, he's listed as the actor for him.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they did something like they did with Katie Sackhoff and just, like, took her from the show and put her as Bo-Katan under the helmet. But that's pretty fucking cool. I mean, I feel like it doesn't. As an outsider, you're standing there.
Holy shit! This man's mustache.
I know, right?
Let me see.
Look up Tate Fletcher.
I don't have my phone. Show me. Flash me the fucking. Oh my god!
Right.
That's what's under that helmet?
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, he's pretty big, so
he's a beefy man.
I feel like it has to be him. Here's him getting punched by The Rock.
In what movie?
I have no idea.
Oh, you know what that looks like?
No, that's in real life. The Rock just punched him. Yeah,
That looks like the Jumanji remake.
Yeah,
could
he's
be
listed for
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I
He was also in
recognize that
John
outfit.
Wick.
The first one?
Yeah, it says that he plays Nikolai, which I'm assuming is just some random mobster for the Russian guy.
I mean, if he has a name, he could be somebody. Who knows? But
Yeah, I mean, I don't fucking know. Yeah, props to him. You know, I always appreciate it when actors do a good job, and this guy seems to...
oh, it's this guy. Actually, I do know who this guy is. This is a guy because he's been killed in John Wick. He's been killed in The Equalizer. He's like a big guy
Who gets killed?
He's like a big guy who's just like supposed to be like this henchman that goes around. So Paz Vizsla is kind of the one time that he's not just like a random henchman.
Oh, interesting.
Wait, he's a guy that dies all the time? He's Sean Bean?
He's a less British Sean Bean, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty fucking dope. That's pretty fucking dope.
He's in Breaking Bad.
He's in Breaking Bad. Oh man, this guy's just amazing. He's just all over the place.
Yeah, I think he's hired all the time as like a big guy who just like fucks up the main character.
We
for
need
a
a
while
big
until
guy
he
to
dies.
do something. Here, let's get this guy in here. Let's make him do some things. But yeah, I'm stoked for that. So dislikes, okay? I'm just gonna go out and say it.
I know you're a big dislike.
Biggest thing I fucking hated was putting Grogu in a fucking robot suit.
Yes.
Chris, please tell me
mean-
you're on board.
At first, I was like, oh, hell yeah, Grogu's getting a mech. And then I was like, nah, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, right? It really sucks. And it feels like they're trying to like halfway address the problem that we've stated in previous review episodes, where it's like you've got this tiny little child that doesn't move very much and can't communicate very well, and you have to tote them around for the entire show. And they gave him a pair of robot legs and robot arms. And I'm like, all right, he can say yes and no. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. You didn't think to put any fucking more words in there while you were fucking around?
That
Also,
being said, the scene where he stops the fight, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the
That was
thing.
kind of dope.
I'm back and forth on it, and that is a scene that I liked from it. I was sort of like, what is the purpose of giving him this? Like, when is he going to do something with it? And that was like, I was like, I think this is enough.
What was the purpose of that scene? I don't like. I get it. All right, let me backtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Axe doesn't get along with Paz. Right? Two tribes. They don't like each other. Fine.
They don't
Things boil
understand
over.
chess. Come on, guys, Google N%.
I
En
like.
passant, you fucking tweet.
I truly like to believe that Paz Vizsla was totally in the right on this one, and and in my headcanon, Paz knows all the rules to this game, and Axe Woves is just like he's the first time he sees somebody castle, and it's just like you can't do that. You can't
move the king twice.
You can't move two pieces, you idiot.
Or when the pawn moves two spaces, you're like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, that's what I like to think Axe Woves is like. He's just like a sports guy. His name is Axe Woves. He's got to be a sports guy.
He's
the
on the
two
Anarchy
tribes-
Chess subreddit.
Jesus Christ. The two tribes boil over into a fight here between Paz and Axe, and Mando's like, are we going to stop them? And Bo-Katan says, no, neither side can step in. Why? Why can neither side step in? I don't understand. You're supposed to be a united force, and you have the diehard cultists versus the mercs, and no one's going to stop these two men from trying to kill each other?
Bo, just
And
kick
then-
the shit out of both of them. Problem solved.
Exactly. I'm like, Bo-Katan, you are the leader. You should be, I don't know, uniting the tribes like you were supposed to do, and you're just going to let them fight it out because no one can stop them. And then Grogu just stops in the middle and stops them, and everyone is just like, oh, great job, Grogu. Oh, man, good job. You taught your fucking apprentice well. Why didn't you do it? Why did you wait for the baby to do it? Why didn't you do it? I literally do not understand the entire point of that other than to give Grogu a moment in the fucking suit and to try to make him seem like a bigger badass than he is. It didn't make a lick of sense to me. Please tell me I'm not wrong.
The only way I could see the suit becoming relevant is if the next season is just Space Jam 3 and he's going to be playing in the NBA.
They gotta play the Monstars.
That would be pretty sick, actually. I'd be all about it.
What
Michael
was
Jordan should make an appearance.
what
Hold
was,
on. Quick question: is using the Force in basketball illegal?
I don't see why not. It's not in the rule book. Dogs can play basketball, so I don't see why not.
fucking Air Bud rules?
Yeah, so I don't see why not.
It's like MVP, most valuable primate, where they're like, well, there's no rules. The monkey can't play hockey, so the monkey is on the hockey team. Oh God. Fuck. What was the bad guy's name? Don Cheadle's character.
Algae Rhythm.
Algae Rhythm. That's what it was.
It's burned in my brain for some reason.
I knew it would be.
God damn it.
Because you're a fucking loser.
God, that movie sucks so bad.
I feel like that whole movie is just an ad for LeBron James' career.
It's so fucking bad.
It was so bad. Oh my God. Oh, and they made Lola Bunny less sexy. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's not an actual complaint I have.
What's next? The green M&M?
Oh no, I've got bad news for you, Tucker Carlson.
No.
Oh my God, have you seen the deepfake video of Tucker Carlson talking about the most fuckable Pokemon? It's a deepfake, so it's like it's a video of him talking about how Vaporeon is the most mateable fuckable Pokemon.
Sure. It's just the
You have
Vaporeon.
seen that?
Well, no, I've seen.
Everybody knows the
Vaporeon
copy pasta.
The Vaporeon thing's not a thing made up for that thing.
But they did Tucker Carlson voicing it like with the AI, so it's really accurate. And they do like the lip syncing. It looks so real. It's great. Oh man. Oh. Okay.
AI scares
what
me.
were we talking about?
We were talking about your hatred for the robot suit.
Oh yeah, the robot suit
for
sucks.
IG-12.
IG-12. They have all fucking 1188. Why are you doing 12?
Well, it'd be weird if it could be like he's 22 now.
Why?
Unless they're like, we tried 10 times and fucked it up and just made a 12th one.
Who says that's how they're numbered?
I don't know. You know, it just seems like the logical step to go 12.
Yeah, you're right, but like all the IG units have the same number. IG-88, IG-11.
Yeah, there's two. There's
Yeah.
probably more.
I mean, there might be more, but you started a pattern and then you said fuck it. I mean,
Also-
I guess I can respect that.
You know, coming off the episode about droids and how they have sentience, and we come into here and we basically lobotomized the droid, hollowed out its brain cavity, and stuck a little chair and little joysticks for the baby to maneuver it. It's kind of fucked up.
I also agree. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
I also
Why
thought it was kinda
is
weird.
that?
I don't hate it as much as you, Jeff, but I am definitely not on the side of like, because I think that there's gonna be a bunch of people who are like, this is the cutest thing ever, and I am not that far into it.
No, and I hate the people that are like that. I really hate all the merchandising of like cartoon chibi versions of fucking Grogu and like baby Yodas everywhere.
I don't know if you agree with this. I feel like for some reason, like Grogu's like the most sellable toy in the world.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I feel like I see him a lot, and he's always looks fucked up to me.
yeah.
Like
He always looks wrong.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
his
and he's
species
the-
has a natural tendency to just consume ketamine.
Wait, really?
no, it's a fucking. Reddit
It's a
meme.
lame
Oh,
fucking joke.
Okay, I was like, Yoda's getting high all day, every day.
No,
I mean,
all
yes.
the
I mean, high I am.
I mean, what the fuck do you think he did for 20 years on Dagobah?
It's true. It's probably true.
He's just
Smokes
huffing
some
swamp
he
gas.
Let's put it this way: he was really, really serious and like a monolithic figure in Revenge of the Sith. And then Empire Strikes Back, he's just like, like the jokey grandpa who's hitting R2 with a stick. So, something happened to him in that amount of time.
I mean, what the fuck else are you gonna do on a jungle planet except find out which plants make you high?
Not even jungle, swamp. There's
It's
nothing
much
to do.
worse.
There is nothing to do but meditate and smoke.
He moved to the middle of nowhere in Alabama. Like he's not.
And there's not even a Walmart to go hang out
Nope.
in. Oh. Whew. Oh, all right.
He's like, let me call my friend. Oh, they're all dead. Right.
what if
right,
Dagobah
right.
is not just a swamp and it's just like that one little spot?
Yeah, if he goes slightly down, he's lived there his entire life. And
You
then
go slightly west, it's like New York City.
As he's dying, he turns to Luke and he's just like, unfortunately, I lived my entire life on this desolate swamp planet. And he goes, oh, there's a city, 2 miles from here. And
Yeah.
he's like, what? no. And he turns into a Force ghost. He's like, fuck. Damn it.
You mean I could have had real food instead of swamp muck?
I could have had friends.
I could have bought the good kush instead of the shit I found in the swamp.
God damn it.
Fuck.
He's like a Force ghost. He's like, how come you never told me? And everyone's like, I thought you knew. I just figured you lived
I thought
here.
this was some weird self-punishment thing, you
Yeah,
kinky weirdo.
God, I would like never for Yoda be referred to as kinky again. Listen, talking about Daddy Moff Gideon was one thing. Kinky
And Daddy
Yoda
Hux.
and Daddy Hux.
Daddy Yoda.
Stop.
That's
You need-
that's how
you
you,
need-
that's how you differentiate
Jeff, you
them.
need to
It's
be
Baby
stopped.
Yoda and, it's Baby Yoda and Daddy Yoda.
Baby Yoda and Daddy Yoda.
Baby eats and Daddy eats.
Well, at least
face
this
hurts from
tangent is Star Wars related.
I also fucking... I didn't want Moff Gideon to be back as the bad guy.
Sure.
I'm on
We
the
talked about
sa-
that before.
To get back to the point.
Yeah.
It should
I
have
didn't
been
want
a
Moff
fucking
Gideon
rogue Mandalorian. It should have been like someone from Death Watch from the old days.
Yeah, or like the fucking spy on Coruscant, because we see that she's still working for the Empire. What the fuck's her name? I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
Who cares?
Katie O'Brien's character. But like, she should have still been like, she could have been the bad guy. And she's like, oh, I'm trying to find Moff Gideon, and he's out there somewhere amassing his forces. And it's like, cool. Let's let you be the bad guy and lead up to Moff Gideon in like a couple seasons.
Well, there is an argument to be made there of if it's like Moff Gideon's out there somewhere, it does step on the toes of Thrawn being out there somewhere amassing his forces.
I guess you're right, but like,
there's still you could have just had him still in jail, and they're trying to break him out too.
yeah, you didn't need him to have escaped off camera. That would have been something I would have loved to see.
Sure.
Is Moff Gideon escaping from the New Republic custody?
Honestly, it would have made for a better season if half the season was the Mandalorian tribes getting pulled together, and half the season was the Empire trying to break out Moff Gideon from jail.
You're saying the season would have been better if it had a structured A and B plot?
Yes.
Wow.
That is what I'm saying.
Wow.
Those are the things that I'm saying.
Those are some hot takes, bud.
Also, there was a part of me that when I saw that the episode was titled "The Spies,"
The Spies. I was like, Hux has to be in this, right?
And he was.
I didn't think that, but he was.
Daddy Hux, he
Daddy
was right
Hux
there.
was in it.
And he's got some sexy facial hair. Ooh,
Stop it.
bet that tickles.
But
This is definitely one of the horniest
why
episodes.
is this so horny?
I'm sorry, everyone. We're
Objectively,
all just
maybe a very non-horny episode.
we're all horny on Maine. I'm sorry.
We are being way too horny on me.
I'm asexual. But
Yes,
But you're the
stop
one who
it.
started with the daddies.
true, it's
You
not-
said daddy before anyone
it's
else
not
did.
incorrect. But no.
Asexual. What a great cover story, Troy. If that's even your real name.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
What's your last name? Is it Hux? Are you the spy?
Are you the spy?
I don't want this podcast to win. I just want Jeff to lose.
I also want that.
Oh my fucking god! I can't breathe.
To bring it back to the actual episode,
Right. Oh man.
bringing Moff back and just showing the incompetence of the Republic just really highlights how much I hate what they did with the sequels.
Yeah. I don't understand how you take a career politician like Leia Organa, who strived and formed the rebellion and did all these amazing things for 3 movies, and then just tell us that she can't properly build a new republic? I feel like that's kind of been her whole deal since episode 4.
Well,
They defeated the Empire, and immediately they were like, we're going to be the most incompetent governors ever.
To be fair to Leia, there is a lot of like source material and books and stuff like that, and like they're starting to touch up on it a little bit in Andor, a little bit too, where apparently a lot of the New Republic is Mon Mothma instead of Leia.
Oh, she was the weird British lady in 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't she
they're
also
really,
a governor? Senator?
She was a senator.
I don't fucking understand I thought the Senate was one person.
Listen, they tried to explain politics to us in Star Wars before, and everybody hated it. So they were like, no, we're never doing that again.
No, they did it in Andor. They're doing it in Andor.
Andor doesn't exist. It's a fever dream you're all having.
You're saying this is what you want to happen. I say it happens in this, and you're like, no, it's a Rogue One character.
Hey guys, let's go into how much I hate Rogue One.
No. No. We can't do this again.
As much as I love telling Jeff that he's wrong, we don't have time.
But yeah, no, listen, I understand all the Moff Gideon complaints. I think that it could have been okay if he was like actually in the season from the beginning. Like if he was introduced in episode 2, I would have had no problem with this.
I would have had a problem with it.
But like if they build him up in a way where it's like,
if you have the same main bad guy for 3 seasons, and at the end of season 2, he's literally fucking arrested and defeated, I don't know what you're doing. You're doing it wrong.
I would love
and
to
I'm not
say
even a
that's
writer.
I would love to say that's a great point, but one of my favorite things ever is Batman, and he's had the same villains for 100 years.
I mean,
so
at that point,
I can't really fight you.
I mean, at that point, it's just a fucking trope. And it's what Batman does best.
Yeah, but also Batman doesn't kill people. He keeps sending them to jail. They keep breaking out, so like the loop is established.
The problem with Moff Gideon, though, is the fact that he only shows up the last 2 episodes of every season. If he had a few episodes in there where he had a win, you wouldn't, and he did in the season 2 where he kidnaps Grogu. But like if he had a few more wins in there, he wouldn't come off as like fucking Skeletor, where he's just like, I'm the villain of the week and they fucked me up again. Ah shit.
I'll get you next time, He-Man.
But like he just needs to like be around a little bit more and have a few wins and be a little bit more menacing more than like once. And like, because like people would argue that like it's like, oh, he has wins, it's always episode 7. It's like, yeah, well, episode 8's the next 2 hours. Like it just happens immediately afterwards. So like he just needs, if he was in this season more, it would have lined up with him being. It's not him just popping up again and then just being like, how many times do we have to teach this lesson, old man?
Yeah,
like,
basically. And like as much as I didn't like seeing Moff Gideon back, like showing up in black Beskar armor is pretty cool.
And he has
that's pretty hot.
It's very, very similar to. It's a little bit of a callback to when Darth Maul ruled or just Maul. Ruled. They make a point that he's just Maul now. When he rules Mandalore for a little bit, a bunch of the Death Watch troopers wear spiky helmets that look like his head, and it kind of looks like that when he's wearing it.
I'm sorry.
I wonder if he just found one of their helmets and just spray painted it black.
I was imagining like a person who like recently comes out or something, and it's like, hey, Darth Maul. It's Maul now. Actually, It's just Maul. It's just Maul now. Sorry. I write sketches in my head all the time. I have a disease.
I feel like Maul would be welcome into the LGBT community.
Yeah. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey,
they're a very welcoming group, right?
He had bottom surgery. Sorry.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry.
God damn!
Oh
God! You just roasted him worse than Anakin.
Dude,
Anakin never roasted him. They didn't really ever met.
No, Anakin got roasted.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
or I guess I did meet in Rebels because he's still alive, and then Vader shows up in that episode. No, they didn't really meet. He was gone by then. Anyway,
Troy, anything else you didn't like?
What didn't I like?
I think we've already talked about most of the big points pretty extensively.
I was pretty positive on this episode. I'm just happy that things are happening again.
Yeah, things are happening. That's great.
For sure.
I just wish it happened sooner.
Sure. This episode, I'm giving a thumbs up. It's just, why does it need to be why isn't it season? I keep saying season. Why does it need to be episode 7 of season 3 when I'm finally
There's only one left, right?
Exactly. And like, that's why I keep saying, like, if they had half the episodes were Mandalore, half the episodes were Moff Gideon coming back, I think it's structured way better. You have a lot more Katie O'Brien doing things and breaking them out and everything. It's just,
I feel like her character is completely wasted at this point.
I don't think that she's I don't think that wasted is the right term yet. I think that
I feel like they could have done way more with her, and they haven't. At least not yet.
Yeah, if she has like a cool season 4, or like even does something cool in the next episode, I would be into it. But if they're like, yeah, she's like Moff Gideon's person who gets information.
What if we get a scene
and then disappears, and then yes.
What if we get a scene like at the end of Force Unleashed, where all the bad guys are just around a table, and they're like, Gideon gave everything so we could have this. We need a symbol, and then they brush the dust off, and it's just like the First Order symbol is right there in Gideon's lair, and then the camera just pans down to it, and then it cuts to black. No.
But what was it? Oh, I was gonna say this earlier, and I fucked it up. When I saw that this episode was called The Spies.
The Spies.
I did think to myself, because it was like clearly an Empire back episode. I was like, what if Bill Burr sneaks in here somehow? We haven't seen any Bill Burr this season.
God,
not yet.
I mean, mostly because Miggs Mayfield died in that refinery explosion, unfortunately. But you know.
Yeah, but his brother Biggs Bayfeld, he became a Mandalorian, and he wears a helmet all the time, so as not to reveal his face.
You said his brother, and my brain autofilled that sentence with Baker Mayfield, the football quarterback. And I was like, what the fuck? What a weird casting choice. He'd also probably say yes. He's not doing anything right now.
Is he Bostonian?
No. Is he? No, I think he went to college in Ohio. I know that.
Well,
I don't know where he's from.
Yeah, college doesn't get rid of an accent.
He's currently in Tampa. Tampa traded for him.
Do you think that he could do a good Boston accent if he had to?
You know what? I think I believe in him enough.
How is this baseball player's acting chops?
What a great fucking question.
You know what? It can't be worse than LeBron's.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, but I am pretty positive on this episode.
Baker Mayfield's from Texas.
Oh, yeah, that's like the opposite of Boston.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm positive on this episode because it's exciting and there's cool fights.
And he went to Oklahoma, not Ohio. I'm fucking stupid.
I liked seeing the Praetorian Guards again. I thought they were cool the first time. I think they're cool this time. I thought that I think that they positioned them in a way where you're like, okay, yeah, it seems like these would be hard people for a bunch of Mandalorians to take on. It is probably my least favorite episode 7. I need to watch season 2's episode 7 again, I think. But
do you remember episode 7 from season 2?
I remember season 1's more. But this finale is a little bit more like there's cool stuff happening, but I did like sort of the very John Wick style, like all the soldiers are in Beskar, so they all have to like get close and personal and like stab each other in the necks. Fight. I would
love if episode 8 was just a giant knife fight.
Yeah. Episode 7 is the Believer of season 2. It's the one where he reunites with Bill Burr, and they do that covert mission.
I know which one it is, but it's.
Oh, you said you didn't remember.
I'm just saying I remember it less than the other two. The one that I saw today, and the one that it's the first season I remember more.
Ah, okay. Okay.
But this is probably the one where I'm like, yeah, it's they break in, they see all the ships, and they fight Moff Gideon again. Like it's cool. Paz Vizsla dies, rest in peace. Very cool guy. And it's just fine. It would be very cool if the rest of the season was better. It is really, its sin is being in the middle at the end of season 3. I think that the season itself is making this episode worse than it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
That's my full take.
Okay. Chris, anything else to add before we wrap up?
So I can't remember if I talked to either one of you or if it was my girlfriend that said it. Is it weird that there was only 3 Praetorian guards? Don't they usually come as like duos and they like mimic each other's weapons?
Well, the only time we've seen the Praetorian guards, there was like 6 of them, and they all fucking died. So
yeah, basically.
This and like you've seen like the Empire's royal guards, and they've usually come in like sets of 2, but
it just feels weird that there was 3 of them.
Maybe.
Is that crazy? Am I crazy? I'm crazy.
I mean, I didn't really think much of it.
I didn't think about it at all. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like an okay number to me. I think that it's just like we had these weapons lying around from episode 8, and it's just like, which ones do we use? Okay, these 3, and just assign them to the guys. Also, I can see it being a thing where they can kind of divvy them up to like a Mando, Armorer, Bo-Katan or something like that, where like they can easily divide it amongst the cast that way.
I mean, Bo's already got a cool ass weapon.
Sure.
And Din had to give his up, so I think he's due for another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only fear I have, going into episode 8, this is my episode 8 anti-predictions, the things that I don't think will happen, don't want to happen. It might happen. Actually, I think it could happen. Things I don't want to happen. I do not want these guys to storm in, be badass, kill Paz Vizsla, and then immediately get fucking stormtroopered by everybody else right off the bat.
Well, here's the big question.
Dark Troopers.
Did they get updated with Beskar armor?
Good question.
Ooh.
I just don't want another situation that's like all the Death Troopers are always like this, where like Death Troopers show up in, is it Death Troopers? Which one's the robot?
The Death Troopers are the robot.
No, that's the Dark Troopers.
Dark Troopers are the robot, I think.
Are you sure? Because Dark Troopers have been a thing for a minute.
Yeah, well,
they had the arc packs in the Battlefront games and the electric arc launchers.
Dark Troopers are the robots from season 2. Death Troopers are the other ones.
They're the Black Stormtroopers from Rogue One, I think.
Yes.
But
actually, that might be the zombies. There's too many.
There's a lot of Death Troopers and a lot of Dark Troopers because of Legends. Is the unfortunate thing. But either way, the ones that are just good Stormtroopers, I have always thought that they were lame because they always come in and people are like, oh shit, it's Death Troopers. They're the coolest ones around. They're gonna fucking kill everybody. And then they usually just are slightly better Stormtroopers, and literally Din Djarin fucking kicks one in the face in the first season and he just falls over.
Oh god, I already hate what I... So I looked up Dark Trooper, and Wikipedia is like, do you mean the canon Dark Troopers?
Exactly.
Or the Legends Dark Troopers?
Exactly.
And I'm like, I already don't want the answer to this question. I already don't care anymore. Jesus Christ.
I think it's the Death Troopers, though. But Death Troopers, comment if you know.
Yeah, sure. Totes my goats, buddy.
But Death Troopers, they suck every time they show up. They're so scary, and then they all just get fucking insta-killed. So I just hope that doesn't happen with the Praetorian Guards, especially since it would make the Last Jedi, probably the coolest fight scene in Last Jedi, look really lame.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's it for this episode. I'm excited to see how it ends.
Sure.
Tentatively, as long as it doesn't suck.
I'm excited because of this episode and not the other 6.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm in a similar boat.
Is it bad that this was probably the best episode, but it also had 2 of us give thumbs down? Is that a bad sign?
I mean, yes, I think season 3 is certainly the weakest of the seasons so far. And spoiler alert.
Well, you don't like 3, but 3 and 5 I think were also pretty good. But.
Spoiler alert for next week when we do the finale. It's probably not getting a great letter grade as a series.
Sure.
But you know, it's still watchable television. It's not
even necessarily like bad. It's just like
parts of this are definitely bad.
Yeah, but I'm saying like as a whole unit of 8 episodes, I don't think it's like terrible. It's just it's there's a lot of wasted time in it.
We have come to expect better, and it is not doing it.
1 and 2 are great.
Yeah. All right, that concludes this episode of the TB&J podcast. If you liked us, leave us a kind review on your favorite podcasting platform. Thumbs up, all the fun things. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, sacrifice a goat. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
What was that goat part?
I didn't say anything about a goat.
You think you did say something about a goat?
I don't think I did.
I'm going to listen back to this, and I think I'm going to find goat, sacrificing.
Sacrificing?
I think you said sacrifice a goat.
I don't think I did.
Chris,
Hey,
did
Jeff?
you hear sacrifice a goat?
Jeff, how many messages will I get from this really big goat? How many do you think I could squeeze out of this one?
About 4 or 5.
Okay.
So question, if you listen back to this podcast in reverse, are there any like hidden satanic messages?
Try it and find out.